President Joe Biden called for a congressional stock ban during a Tuesday interview with More Perfect Union. Imagine that. The interviewer praised Biden for not getting rich off stocks during his very long tenure in Congress. Here's Biden explaining his rationale for the ban.
But, you know, I don't know how you look your constituents in the eye and know because the job they gave you gave you an inside track to make more money. I think we should be changing the law that we have to, but we abide by at the federal level, that nobody in the Congress should be able to make money in the stock market while they're in the Congress.
Former Speaker Nancy Pelosi has notoriously faced criticism for her husband's apparent success in trading stocks. Watchdog group Unusual Whales estimated in May that Pelosi and her husband Paul had made almost $4 million in 6 months off his NVIDIA call options.
As you may recall, Pelosi reportedly pressured Biden to drop out of the presidential race over the summer. 3 sources told Politico in August this move made Biden quite angry at Pelosi. Maybe this is revenge. Fox News' Jesse Waters hinted Tuesday that Biden might indeed be seeking vengeance. Here's that.
Biden didn't want to ban Congress from insider trading during his entire 50-year career in D.C. But a month before he leaves, he gives Nancy a little gift. This isn't about stopping corruption. It's about getting retribution.
A lot of people seem to be in agreement with Biden in terms of the ban, at least. Andrew Yang took to X and wrote, "A ban on stock trading by members of Congress is long overdue." Ilan Omar also chimed in, writing, "We need a ban on stock trading by members of Congress. I am sure vast majority of our constituents would agree."
The Krasenstein brothers also joined in on the fun, with Brian Krasenstein writing, "Who doesn't agree with this? Why has it taken 46 presidents before one pushed heavily for this?" His brother Ed wrote, "Let's all unify around Biden's call for a congressional stock trading ban and Trump's aim to end daylight savings time." Ooh, I have a lot of thoughts on that. Let's remember to circle back to that. Start with the stock trading ban. I award Joe Biden no points for this, and may God have mercy on our souls. No, it's too late to do anything. So now, if he wanted to make this a priority, that had to happen earlier. So I see why people would say this is just revenge against Nancy Pelosi for how she treated him.
Yeah, it's rather late to rally to the popular and populist flag of banning stock options. There is no real good argument that I see to defend the buying and selling of stocks or other financial instruments by members of Congress. It automatically opens up people to the suspicion that they are trading off insider knowledge to some degree. Pelosi obviously is the most prominent example of it through her husband, but in general the whole system seems highly, highly dubious and open to corruption. So on the face of it, yes, a ban on that practice would be a good thing. On the other hand, if you're President of the United States and you decide to call for that ban when there are, 4 weeks of your term left, approximately?
Oh, yeah, they're going to get right on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be no, lame duck Congress called into session to do that. And it's also...
to take away their financial power?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I mean, it would be a hard sell anyway, because you have to get the very people affected by this who are
benefiting
enriched by their knowledge, insider knowledge of what the rules and regulations are going to be, to agree that they should not be trading stocks. And that's unfortunately not going to happen, although there are some members of Congress on a bipartisan basis who have in both the sort of progressive squad left and and then some of the kind of economic populist people on the right, like Josh Hawley has been a big proponent of this, which is great.
Sure, no, absolutely. I mean, there is a lot of bipartisan support to a degree. I mean, it is members who seem to be somewhat more to the left of the Democratic Party and to the populist right of the Republican Party. And a lot of people in the middle ground are quite happy to just stay quiet and hope it remains as it is. To the point about Biden, it is notable that back in 2021, Jen Psaki, who was then White House press secretary, not an MSNBC anchor, was asked about it, and she essentially said that it was the policy of the administration to let the leadership of Congress and congressional members decide what to do about it. So Biden very explicitly did not support this at a time when his political capital was higher and when there was potential to do more about it.
And Nancy Pelosi defended not doing it, defending allowing members of Congress to continue trading stocks on the grounds that we are a capitalist country and we like capitalism. I like capitalism. We are a capitalist country. That's true. Having the people who say, and I want generally minimal regulation. You and I would certainly argue about the level of regulation in various fields, but the people making the regulations should be outside the system. That's like saying, like, the coach can't be the coach and a player. That doesn't make any sense. So it's not an argument against capitalism, but against people profiting from market transactions. It's saying the small number of people who are in charge of managing the regulations cannot themselves have a financial incentive to tweak them in favor of whatever company they have stock in. That should seem obvious and is not an attack whatsoever on capitalism. It in fact be a kind of crony corporatist regime where the people making the rules in some kind of like Soviet structure are also the ones enriching themselves. Not capitalists, not what we capitalists want.
Right, and as I understand the principled right-wing or conservative position on this, it's that those kinds of, that messiness screws up the operation of a free market, so it no longer actually becomes a free market. It becomes a market where powerful people have tilted it in their own interest.
All right, daylight savings time.
Yes.
I have a lot of strong
Tell me
opinions
about your
on this.
passions about daylight savings time.
I think I did a radar on this with Kim Iverson years and years and years ago. Our longtime fans can go look that one up. So Donald Trump recently tweeted in favor of abolishing daylight saving time. That's a good first step, but actually we don't want to abolish daylight savings time. We want to make permanent daylight savings time.
And why do we want to do that?
Because we don't want to switch the clocks. Doing that is stupid, and it's bad, and it makes people late for work, and makes people get in car crashes. Just bad, causes depression. Don't do it. We don't want to have to do that, so we just want to keep it year round. We want, I think, would be better. We want more hours of sunlight after work. Isn't it depressing to be leaving work? You can be leaving work at 4:30 if you can get off at 4:30, and it's dark out already. Sure. This sucks. Don't like it, don't want it. So we want permanent daylight savings time, so that you end up with more hours of darkness in the morning, which people don't like. But it's the same. You gotta have the darkness sometime, and then we get more light in the evenings.
You're very impassioned on this topic, Robby.
I believe
a man full of surprises as to what involves your passions.
Very strongly. The daylight savings time notoriously is for farmers. It was lobbied for by farming. I think there's widespread agreement that it is stupid now to actually do the clock changing thing. But yes, I would just keep it so that you have more daylight when you finish your day. The argument against that, people will say, some people really don't like getting ready for school or for work in the darkness. My retort to that is getting ready for work is always a chore, because
regardless of the amount of light.
I love so much coming here to this wonderful job and interacting with you.
Darkness or light.
I jump out of bed every morning with vim and vigor, but it's not easy to do this anyway. The hours of the light is wasted on that period of the day. Let's have it more on the other side, so we can enjoy our evenings a bit more.
And you don't worry about disconnecting the nation from its agrarian roots by changing it in that way.
I do not.
Fair enough.
We are moving on to bigger, better things. So that would be my proposal, and it has some support from certain Republicans, including Marco Rubio, our incoming Secretary of State. So let's make it happen, team. Permanent daylight savings time, no changing the clocks, more light, less darkness. Mwahaha. More to come on Rising. Stay tuned.